Hi, I'm Clover. I never thought I'd be telling this story, but life has a way of taking unexpected turns. For 30 years, I poured everything into raising my son, Derek. Every school play, every baseball game, every scraped knee, I was there. When my husband passed away 10 years ago, Derek promised he'd always take care of me. That promise shattered on a Tuesday afternoon. Derek, please, I whispered into the phone, my voice shaking. I was sprawled on my kitchen floor, pain radiating from my hip after a nasty fall. I can't get up. I think something's broken. Mom, I'm in the middle of a work thing, Derek replied, his voice distant, distracted. Can't you call someone else? There isn't anyone else. Marcus next door is away and… Look, I've got this presentation in 20 minutes. I'll come tomorrow if I can, okay? Try calling an ambulance if it's that bad. An ambulance costs thousands, Derek. You know I can't afford… Mom, I really need to go. Call Teresa or something. The line went dead. 6 hours I lay there, drifting in and out of consciousness, before Marcus returned from his trip and heard my feeble knocking against the shared wall. Clover? Good God. Marcus's weathered face appeared above me, his eyes wide with shock. How long have you been like this? Since this morning, I managed. I called Derek, but… Marcus's expression darkened. You called your son hours ago and he didn't come? He was busy. Busy? While his mother is lying on the floor? Marcus carefully helped me into a sitting position. I'm calling 911 right now. No, please, the cost. To hell with the cost. And don't worry, I'm calling someone else too. Later at the hospital, Teresa burst into my room, her silver hair flying. Clover Jenkins! Marcus just told me everything. Where's that son of yours? I have some choice words for him. He doesn't know I'm here, I said, embarrassed. He doesn't… Teresa stopped, her face reddening. You mean he still hasn't checked on you? I'm sure he's just caught up at work. At 9 p.m.? No, honey, that's not work. That's neglect. The door opened again and Amelia, Derek's wife, rushed in, her face streaked with tears. Clover, I just heard. Marcus called us. I came as soon as I could. Where's Derek? Teresa demanded. Amelia's eyes dropped. He said he'd come in the morning. He has an early golf game, but thought he could stop by after… A golf game? Teresa's voice rose. His mother is in the hospital with a broken hip and he's playing golf? I tried to tell him, but lately he's been so… different, Amelia confessed, sitting beside my bed. Ever since he took over managing your finances, he's been spending so much money on himself. Managing my finances? I asked, confused. He just helps me pay a few bills. Amelia and Teresa exchanged glances. Clover, Amelia said carefully. Derek told me he's handling all your money now. He said you signed everything over to him months ago. I never signed anything, I whispered, a cold feeling spreading through my chest. Marcus appeared in the doorway, his face grim. I just spoke with the doctor. They're keeping you overnight, Clover. And I've called my niece Sophia. She's an attorney who specializes in elder law. I think you're going to need her. This power of attorney is a complete forgery, Sophia Chen said, placing the document on my hospital tray table. Her crisp suit and direct manner gave me confidence. Your signature doesn't match any of your legal documents. And these bank statements? She shook her head. What about them? I asked, heart pounding. Your accounts have been systematically drained over the past 6 months. Nearly $120,000 withdrawn. That's impossible, I gasped. That's my entire retirement savings. I've seen this before, Sophia said, her voice gentle but firm. And we can fight it. But first, we need to gather more evidence. Teresa, who had been uncharacteristically quiet, suddenly spoke up. I always thought it was strange how Derek started showing up with expensive watches and that new sports car. He said it was from work bonuses, I whispered. When was the last time Derek actually showed you your account statements? Sophia asked. He said the bank went paperless. He handles everything online now. Sophia nodded grimly. Classic isolation tactic. cut you off from your financial information, then slowly drain the accounts. The hospital room door swung open and Officer Bennett walked in, a sturdy woman with kind eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor. Mrs. Jenkins, I'm Officer Bennett. Mr. Parker next door filed a police report about your situation. A police report? I stammered. That's not necessary. Derek just made a mistake. Mom? Derek's voice came from the doorway. He froze, taking in the scene. The police officer, the attorney, the documents spread across my bed. What's going on here? He demanded, his confident smile faltering. Officer Bennett turned. Mr. Jenkins? Perfect timing. We have some questions about your mother's finances. My mother's finances are none of your business, Derek snapped. Mom, who are these people? Why is Marcus interfering in family matters? Family matters? Teresa stood up, her small frame vibrating with anger. You left your mother on the floor for 6 hours? I was busy, and she's fine, isn't she? Making a mountain out of a molehill as usual? Amelia appeared behind him, her face pale. Derek, stop it. Tell them the truth. The truth about what? Derek's voice rose. Stay out of this, Amelia. No. Amelia stepped forward. I found the bank statements in your desk. I know what you've been doing. Derek's face darkened. You went through my desk? I know about the gambling, Derek, Amelia said quietly. And the woman in Pittsburgh? The room fell silent. Mr. Jenkins, Sophia said calmly, your mother never signed this power of attorney. And these withdrawals? She's confused, Derek interrupted. She signed everything willingly. Tell them, Mom. All eyes turned to me. In that moment, seeing the desperation in my son's eyes, I realized how much I didn't know him anymore. No, Derek, I said firmly. I never signed anything. 3 days later, I sat in my living room, surrounded by my newfound support system. My hip was on the mend, and my resolve was stronger than ever. He's here, Marcus announced, peering through the window. Derek strode in without knocking. This intervention or whatever needs to stop now, he announced. Mom, call off your attack dogs. We can sort this out privately. Sit down, Derek, I said calmly. I don't need to. Sit down. Something in my voice must have surprised him because he actually did. I've seen the bank statements, I began. All of them. Mom, I can explain. You stole from me, I continued. You forged my signature. You abandoned me when I needed you most. That's not fair. I was going to pay it all back. The investments just didn't work out as planned. Investments? Sophia interjected. Is that what you call poker tables in Atlantic City? Derek's face reddened. This is a family matter. You have no right. She has every right, Officer Bennett said from the corner. I've seen the evidence, Mr. Jenkins. This goes beyond a family dispute. Mom, Derek's voice softened, turning pleading. I made mistakes. I'm sorry. You know I love you. Dad would want you to forgive me. Don't you dare bring your father into this, I said, my voice shaking. He would be ashamed of what you've become. I was desperate. The debts kept piling up, and I thought just a little money would help me get back on my feet. Then I needed more and more. And I was just an ATM to you, I finished. While you were buying your watches and taking your girlfriend to Pittsburgh, I was eating canned soup to save money. I'll make it right, Derek insisted, leaning forward. I promise, Mom. I'll pay back every penny. Just don't do this, please. Like you came when I begged for help? Teresa interjected. You left your mother on the floor. I didn't think it was serious, Derek shouted, standing up. How was I supposed to know? Because she told you, Amelia said quietly. She told you she needed help, and you chose golf and your mistress over your own mother. Derek whirled toward her. Shut up! You've ruined everything by sticking your nose where it doesn't belong! Don't speak to her that way, I commanded. Derek's face contorted. You're all against me. Fine. You want to play hardball? I'll fight this every step of the way. Good luck proving anything without that power of attorney document. You mean this one? Sophia held up a plastic evidence bag containing the forged document. Already in police custody. along with the bank records. This is ridiculous, Derek snarled, pacing now. I'm your son! You can't do this to me! You did this to yourself, I replied. Derek lunged toward me suddenly, his face twisted with rage. You ungrateful— Marcus and Officer Bennett moved instantly, restraining him. That's assault, Officer Bennett said, pulling out handcuffs. Derek Jenkins, you're under arrest. All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Williams presiding. 6 months had passed since that terrible day on my kitchen floor. I sat straight-backed in the courtroom, Teresa on one side, Marcus on the other. The defendant will rise for sentencing, the bailiff announced. Derek stood, hollow-eyed in his wrinkled suit. He'd lost weight during the proceedings, his confident swagger replaced by nervous fidgeting. Mr. Jenkins, Judge Williams began, this court has found you guilty of elder abuse, financial exploitation, forgery, and attempted assault. These crimes are particularly heinous as they were perpetrated against your own mother, who trusted and depended on you. I watched my son's shoulders slump as the judge continued. I hereby sentence you to 5 years in state prison, with 3 years suspended. You will make full restitution of the stolen funds plus interest. Upon release, you will have no contact with the victim without court approval. Outside the courtroom, Amelia approached me hesitantly. Clover, I want you to know I filed for divorce, she said. I had no idea how bad things had gotten until that day in the hospital. None of us did, I replied, patting her hand. He fooled us all. Mrs. Jenkins? A reporter approached. How do you feel about your son's sentencing? Before I could answer, Derek was led past us in handcuffs. Mom, he called out. Please, can we talk? I'm so sorry for everything. I wasn't thinking clearly. The gambling addiction, it took over my life. I looked at my son, really looked at him, for the first time in months. Derek, I raised you better than this, I said calmly. I taught you about consequences. I know, and I'll change, I promise. Don't let it end like this. We're family. Family doesn't abandon family on the floor, Teresa muttered beside me. I've lost everything, Mom, Derek continued desperately. My house, my marriage, my freedom. Please don't let me lose you too. The courtroom had gone quiet, everyone watching our exchange. You lost me the moment you said, I'll come tomorrow if I can, I replied. Some things can't be undone, Derek. Later that evening, we gathered on Marcus's patio. Teresa, Sophia, Amelia, Officer Bennett, and me. The setting sun cast long shadows across the yard. To justice, Marcus toasted, raising his iced tea. And to new beginnings, added Sophia. Clover, Teresa asked gently, are you really never going to forgive him? I watched a pair of cardinals at the bird feeder, the bright male, the subtle female working together. Forgiveness would be easier, I admitted. But some bridges once burned can't be rebuilt. I'll always love the boy I raised, but that's not the man who stands before me now. What will you do next? Amelia asked. I smiled, feeling lighter than I had in years. Live, travel, volunteer, all the things I put off while trying to please a son who couldn't be bothered to help his mother off the floor. To Clover, Officer Bennett said, raising her glass. The strongest woman I know. As the stars began to appear, I wondered, how many others were out there, suffering in silence, afraid to stand up to family who hurt them? How many needed to hear that it was okay to demand justice, even from those we love? Have you ever had to choose between family loyalty and self-respect? Sometimes the hardest person to stand up to is the one who should have stood by you all along.